Greetings. This is your instructor, Dane Crowley, and this is the $203 challenge. Learn how to make money online, proudly brought to you by Billionaire Belief. I'm very excited to be able to share this very insightful information with you guys today, and it's really a pleasure. It's an honor. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Let's get on to it. So, what are the challenge details? This is a very simple challenge. The ultimate goal here is just for you to be able to learn a new skill, learn how to make money online, learn how to use your mind to produce income. Like that's really the ultimate goal here. And so to make that happen, I've devised a couple of simple steps for you to use, utilizing free tools, might I add. And all you're gonna really have to do is just apply yourself. So just put the effort into working the process so that you can improve your skills so that you can start producing the outcomes that you want. And so here's going to be your challenge details for the $203 challenge. Number one, you're going to need to study the online business blueprint. Now, luckily for you, this is a tool I didn't have when I first got started years ago. And that's really why I wanted to share this with you today because I realized that I figured out how to do something, but back then I didn't understand what I really did. But over the years, I've learned new things, and so I understand what I did back then, which is why now I'm sharing it with you, and ultimately, like I said, making it a challenge and only talking about something that I know how to do. And so again, I can help you make $203 online while you sleep. Inbox money, as I like to call it. Um, and so, if you are willing to apply yourself and just learn what I'm going to be sharing with you today, then you can do it. You will do it. You do more. And so, and the goal again is just for you to complete the challenge and not for you to become a cash money millionaire. But if that's what you want to do, then by all means do your thing because once you learn this skill, then you could scale it to whatever level you want. But my goal here is just to share something of value, how to make money online, answering $1 million question that's, it was on my mind all those years ago. I began my journey back in 2007. And so again, luckily for you guys have the online business blueprint now. And so you're going to be able to use that more so as a reference guide, on this journey. Whereas for me, I had to figure everything out. I had to start from scratch and just kind of like really apply myself. So it took me a long time to earn my first $203 online. Not because, mostly because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't understand what I was doing, but I was applying myself. I was producing. I was trying. I can say that. And so now that I understand it, like I said, I'm here to share it with you. And luckily for you, again, like you guys have a blueprint, so you don't have to have as a long of a learning curve as I had. You can steepen out your learning curve, and that's really what this course is all about. So, number two, sign up for a free MailChimp account. And again, free tools. All MailChimp, is one of the basic tools you're gonna need to execute, and it's free. And so just sign up for the free basic account. It's you don't need to necessarily do any trials. But again, I have no affiliation to them at all. But that's just a free tool you're gonna need to use in order to execute this new skill set. Number three, follow the online business blueprint. Now this is where you're gonna make or break yourself. Again, for me, I didn't have a blueprint to follow. I just had um, well, I'll take that back. I I had I had different blueprints to follow, but again, I didn't understand. I was just kind of like throwing darts in the dark in a sense, trying to hit a target. But as I as I as I've aged and been able to kind of like look at my own project as a case study, I came to the realization, I should say, that I actually do understand how I produced this, the $203 that I first earned. So again, like we're just gonna cover the basics because that's where it all starts. Make sure you get a solid foundation laid in this department, and then where you take it, once you complete the challenge, is up to you. But I'm just here to share. You feel me? So let's move right along. But again, number three, you gotta follow. So just follow the steps. You know what I mean? Like again, I didn't have the blueprint. I'll share where I deviated in a sense in regards to the blueprint throughout the presentation. But all in all, realize that you can do this, and I'm here to help you. All right. So number four, share your receipts once you reach $203. So again, once you complete the challenge, go ahead, share those in the Facebook group. And like you said, and then I'm pretty sure sometime I'm gonna put together like some sort of page where all the challenge completers can be listed. But again, this is real big. You know what I mean? Depending upon the type of gravity you're bringing to this situation, I definitely want to let you know like this is a life changing skill. Now that I understand how to engineer the result, again, you're gonna just be able to learn it and just go, real quick. But for me, I had to go through the trial and error. So just allow my busy work, my trial and error. I spent the money on the buying the gurus courses. I can't tell you how much money I spent back then trying to figure this stuff out. But as I look back on my previous work, I realized that I did at least earn 200. I did earn more, but I was only able to find receipts for the first $203. So that's what we're gonna be talking about. All right, so let's move right along. So your reference guide, as I said before, the online business blueprint. Shouts out, but the links and everything will be in the group as well as on the page and in your email inbox. But this is going to be pretty much the reference guide you can go to if you have just basic questions or just kind of like just to give yourself a refresher on what needs to be done. But all in all, like I said, I didn't have this when I when I got started years ago, but you do. So there's no excuses for you. All you gotta do is just produce. All right. So here are my receipts right here. Again, these are the only receipts I was able to find. But as I talk through what you're going to be executing, understand. But the ultimate goal again was to produce income. Because back then when I first got started, kind of like my last year of college, my thing was just kind of really just trying to figure out like, okay, like how do you even make money on, like how do you do it, like what's the system? Because I didn't want to just win once. I wanted to win repeatedly. But life, happens, and a whole bunch of other things. But I never stopped trying to figure it out. Over the years, like I said, that's how I taught myself how to code. That's how I taught myself internet marketing back then. But now it's called digital marketing. But that's how I learned graphic design, video production, all these different skills. Because again, back then I was just trying to figure out how to do this. And then lo and behold, I finally figured out something, which is what the online business blueprint ended up being. But I figured that out, and then from that, what I mean. At that point, once I actually figured out, the way life happens, the actual site I was using to build everything got hacked, and so all the data got lost, and so that I had to just restart from scratch. And I took a couple years off because again, life happens, and of course other projects I was involved in and doing over the time. But as I just kind of was just thinking and looking back, I was like, you know what, I got some value to share here. I've accomplished something that I always hear people talk about. So let me at least share with them how to at least the basic skill set of what they're gonna need to execute, so that they can execute and take it to wherever they want to go. But first make that first 203. And again, you're gonna build this, set it up, and then just through your daily efforts promote it. But all in all, I guarantee you're gonna make money while you sleep. You're gonna wake up one day and look through your emails and go, oh man, like I got a payout right there. I've earned a commission based on whatever product that you're gonna end up promoting. But all in all, what I mean, like this is definitely a great skill, I should say, and I'm excited. I really am. I'm really excited to share with you and help you just take your lifestyle, your skill set to the next level. So receipts. So first one there was a commission from a product that I promoted. I believe it was called Magnetic Sponsoring, and I got $20 from that. So again, I did everything pretty much that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Um, and then the end result was I produced that commission. And then the next two were from the same product. It was a book called Secret Entourage, Third Circle Theory. And again, produced a different product, same audience, but I produced those two payouts right there. So it's grand total $203. If you want to be technical, $203.99. But those are the receipts. So I'm going to only talk about what I know how to do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a firm believer in making sure that talking about what you know. And so I don't have the secret formula to turn you into a cash money millionaire, but I do have the formula to help you earn your first $203 most likely while you sleep. All right, I know a system you can set up for free, which I'm going to share with you right now, to produce your first $203 online. All right, so let's move along. So boom, now let's get to the boardroom. This is time to handle business. All right. So this is what it's really about, right here. The boardroom, you Inc. Making a decision to make money online. Is basically a decision to be an entrepreneur, which is basically a decision to start your own company, which is basically a decision to be in business. The business of profit and loss. So you're producing a product to sell for a profit. All right. So there's a couple of mindset shifts that you're gonna have to make here, and these are the four basic ones from based on my experience in regards to trying to produce $203. All right, your first $203. And even if you've done it before, use this as a way of just honing your skills. But the first thing, entrepreneurial mindset. So just produce it, like I said, like I said before. So again, you're gonna have to go from using your money as a tool to consume stuff, material stuff, to start using it to invest in yourself, so that you can learn skills and improve your value, so that you can then be able to come up with systems, think up systems to have an impact on a large amount of people, so that on the back end you produce income. So first mindset shift is to think entrepreneurial. Next, time. So you gotta focus. The reality is you don't need all this time to make money online, but you do need to focus, and that's what I've learned over the years. So you just have to really, in a sense, simple things like giving yourself an hour a day or 2 hours a day, whatever your time commitment is, but sticking to that, having a discipline to focus and stick to that, and then during that time, focus on completing the challenge, or focus on completing whatever project that you're doing. So I actually saw a image, a meme today. It was basically talking about project management, and it was basically kind of like from an illustration perspective, talking about a project. I mean, a dream, I should say, from a watermelon perspective. So think of a dream as the whole watermelon. Let's just say you go slice it up into quarters, so 4 big pieces. So 1/4 piece represents a project, and then a slice of the project represents a task. And so that's basically what you gotta do here, and that's what I mean by focus. So really, breaking your dream down in this regard. Produce that first $203 online, and like I said, break it down to from a dream to a project to a task, and then execute. So focus, focus, focus. Next, goals. So again, know what your priorities are. So again, it ain't, in this regard, it ain't to have the coolest looking graphics or layouts. It's like I said, to produce that first $203. So let's make that happen. You feel me? We go produce that first $203. All right. We're gonna make that our priority. Lastly, strategy plan. So again, you guys have the online business blueprint. Something I didn't have when I was getting started. I had to figure basically what that is out on my own, piecing a lot of different material from a lot of different sources into distilling it down into one. But that's basically what I did back then without me consciously being, conscious of knowing it. But those are the steps I followed, and I did produce the $203. All right. So with that being said, now that we got you Inc. squared away, your mindset, let's go ahead and dive into actual, some of the actual basics, online business basics, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the five, steps you're gonna need to take to produce this first $203 for yourself. All right, let's move ahead. So online business basics. So the first online business basic is understanding that it's a basic, again, it's a system, it's a process, it's a repeatable process to produce repeatable wins. And so the first thing in the first step, you're gonna have to drive traffic. The next step is you're gonna have to capture emails. The next step is you're gonna have to promote offers, and then the next step is you're gonna have to monitor your inbox. So when it comes to driving traffic, whatever niche you decide to get into, you're just gonna have to figure out from an organic or paid perspective. You can do it organically. It's going to take a little bit more time, but it can be done because I did it that way. I didn't use any paid ads to produce my $203. But again, if you want to dive into paid advertising, that's another discipline that you're going to have to learn. We'll talk about that in future videos. But for now, keep it simple. So just focus on organically. So from a timetable perspective, again, it just depends on what niche you get into, your skills and how you apply this blueprint. But again, for me, it took a couple years for me, again, because I was starting from scratch. I didn't have the blueprint. I didn't have a strategy. I didn't have a plan. I was just throwing darts in the dark. But I did eventually figure something out because I did produce the first $203, and you saw my receipts. So these are the steps you're gonna have to take. But these are the big picture things. The big picture goals are like the pillars of online business in a sense, the basics. It's a continuous process of driving traffic, capturing and collecting email addresses, promoting offers, and then monitoring your inbox for your payouts, and for any questions or any other customer service needs that your funnel is gonna have. All right, so let's move right along. So number one, this is the first thing you're gonna have to do, and it's called develop your big idea. So this comes down to choosing an evergreen niche. So for those of you who this might be the first time you've ever heard that word niches, but an evergreen niche is basically a market that buys stuff. That's the basic way of putting it. So, for example, iPhone users, that's an evergreen market. Why? Because iPhone users are rabid buyers for the device. They're gonna buy a case. They're gonna buy apps. They're gonna buy coverage, security packages. They're gonna buy account upgrades. So again, companies like Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, those types of companies, they've put their business in the evergreen niche of communications, and in this case, being a provider for the service for the iPhone. But with that being said, there's three basic evergreen niches that you want to kind of stick to and focus on, and from these three niches, I'm willing to kind of put some money on it. You can tie just about every product on the market back to one of these three niches: health, wealth, and relationships. So again, when it comes to the evergreen niche of health, think of things like weight loss. So there's always gonna be a market for weight loss because people are always gonna be looking to lose weight. Summer's right around the corner, or they gotta get into the winter. The winter formal's coming, so they gotta slim down to get into their dress, or the guy who wants to compete in the Ironman or the marathon, he has to trim. So the weight loss is always going to be a niche where people are going to be buying. All right. Next, wealth to make money online. So what we're basically talking about right now. But anything regarding making money online will be tied back to the evergreen niche of wealth. And last but not least, relationships. So things like dating advice. The reason why in this recording you see so many podcasts and books and games around relationships, and dating advice at the end of the day. Reason why it's so popular because again it's a rabid market. It's an evergreen niche. People are always trying to figure out how to improve their relationships, both platonically and non-platonically. So there's always going to be a market of people willing to buy products that's going to help them improve their relationships. In this case, dating advice. And so these three things: weight loss, make money online, and dating advice. Those are just three basic examples. But again, health, wealth, and relationships. The niches are huge. They're humongous. But again, it's just figuring out where you want to fit in at. So think long term. Down the road. Where do you see yourself 5, 10, 15 years down the line, 20 years down the line? What niche do you see yourself competing in? Now, you might see yourself wanting to be in all three, but again, focus on the power of one. We're going to get started with one. So just pick one. And then once you pick that one, then we'll be able to get to the next step. So your first step to develop a big idea is going to be choosing your niche. So my recommendation is to choose a niche within health, wealth, and relationships. But if you find a niche that you want to explore, you see yourself being in that based upon the research and some of the things we're going to be talking about, it checks out, then so be it. But I'm telling you right now, you can't go wrong if you stick to these three niches right here. Let's move on to step 2. So select your entry offer. So once you select your niche, so in my case, I chose wealth. So when it came to wealth, it was like, okay, back then when I got started, I wasn't necessarily talking about making money online. I was more so talking about making the mindset shift from employee to entrepreneur, because that's the path. That was the path I was currently on at the time. So again, when it came to figuring out what my entry offers were, that's when I learned about something called affiliate products, which are basically someone else's product that you promote. Now, ideally, these are products that you've already purchased and you've used, because if you purchase it and use it yourself, you can talk about it a little differently. But if it's something that you get some good recommendations on, then by all means, or if you're able to get a product that you're able to interview to offer, interview the creator, for example, in your niche, then by all means, that's another avenue you can take to get the product off. But in this case, when it comes to selecting your entry offer, the product that you're going to sell, you want to make sure it's niche specific. So again, if for me, I was doing wealth. So again, within wealth, making money isn't the only thing you could talk about in wealth. Again, because there's other things that have to happen. There's other mindset shifts and skill sets that needs to be developed. And so for me, at the time, I didn't have any receipts for making money online, so I didn't talk about making money online. But what I did talk about was going through the personal development that was needed to develop my mindset to start thinking more entrepreneurial. So that's what I picked. So at the time, there was a product called Magnetic Sponsoring, which was hot for what was it? I learned that they were called distributors, but anyway, I'm pretty sure the Tuesday night meeting individuals, the host of MLM stuff. Because at the time, of course, I said I was trying to figure stuff out, so I was going to these meetings and trying to joining these opportunities, but then again, I would always get to a point where it was just like, damn, like how am I gonna build this quote unquote team of mine? And it was always the same, advice is, just write a list of 100 contacts and then call them and invite them out to the meeting. But it was just like, like that wasn't working for me. You know what I mean? So I started looking for a better way, and then that's when I came across this product called Magnetic Sponsoring, which by a guy named Mike Dillard, and I really appreciate that content at that time, because that was the first piece of content that really got me to start thinking more entrepreneurial. And so that was the first product that I started promoting when I first set up my lead capture system for Billionaire Belief. And so for you, whatever whatever your niche is. So if you're in health, again, you might do if you and I'm gonna, as for my examples, I'm gonna stick to the basics just for example purposes. But as I keep saying, there's tons of more. So you're not limited to what my examples will be, but just know that those are just places to start, and just for you to think through your own idea as you do your research and figuring out what your niche is going to be. But when it comes to getting that offer in place, um, you want to go niche specific. Make sure it's high converting. So high converting that it sells, and then low price. So low price being something below $50. Because again, you want to kind of like a basic product that people can buy to learn something, and based upon what your niche is. All right, so that's what you got to do, and that's basically what I did for Billionaire Belief. So the two products that I selected were again the magnetic sponsoring, which was basically it was a hardback book that was mailed to you back then. But then over the years, it got switched to an email PDF. A PDF delivered via your email. Um, but again, whatever your product is going to be, that's what it's going to be. But for me, again, I chose wealth. But I didn't choose make money online. I just chose personal development. So making a shift from employee mindset shift from employee to entrepreneur. And then for my products, I just chose two books that I read, which at the time were Magnetic Sponsoring by Mike Dillard, and third Secret Entourages of Third Circle Theory. All right, and both of those products were priced below $50. So step 3, your lead capture system. So this is actually the automated part, of this process. This is why you're gonna need a Mailchimp account, because again, the Mailchimp account already actually comes with these basic pages. So these 3 basic things that you're gonna need to execute this process here. But you're gonna just need three basic things to make money online, and that's a landing page for your for you to capture email addresses. Then you're gonna need a thank you page just to direct people on to the next step, and then you're gonna need an email autoresponder to deliver that first email, as well as any other email sequence that you'll have down the line. But the basic start you want to do right here, booyah, landing page, thank you page, email autoresponder page. Now the reality is if you've ever purchased something online, then you've already been through this process yourself. So all you're doing is just doing what you've already done, but you're just owning the process, and that's all it takes. Because again, you're just doing a very simplified version of what Amazon is doing, but just a very basic version of it. And from that simple version, just like Bezos, you start off with a very basic concept, selling books online, and from that he was able to scale it up into the behemoth we know as Amazon.com. So whatever you choose to do, it might be the same thing. Again, you could be selling water. You could be in a health niche, weight loss, selling water, or just in the health industry, just selling water. But if as long as you follow these steps, you can do it. All right. So again, you want to set up the Mailchimp account so that you can have access to a landing page, a thank you page, and an email autoresponder. Because again, you're gonna have to direct your traffic to a landing page so that people can, so that you can collect so drive traffic to a landing page so you can capture and collect email addresses, so that then you can promote offers via your email autoresponder, and then you're gonna have to monitor your inbox for payout emails. All right, let's move to step number 4. So drive traffic to your LCS. So your lead capture system. So again, once you have your lead capture system set up, then it's going to be are you identifying your traffic sources. So it's basically 2 traffic sources that you're going to be able to utilize. which is organic content, which is basically SEO, search engine optimized content. So writing blog articles, posting pictures, posting videos that are optimized with specific keywords and phrases, so that they get indexed, and over time, as people are searching for these keywords and phrases, your content, it starts to get ranked and rise in the rankings, and people start coming to your videos, your articles, your pictures, or whatever other content that you've posted, that you've search engine optimized, and then that's how you get your organic traffic. And that's why it takes a little bit of time. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell you that it's gonna happen overnight, but it does work, because I did it to produce my $203. All right, so you can do it to produce yours. That's that. I would say, let's just say that's the long way. But the short way, or will be to do paid advertising. Now that's another skill set, as I've said before. That's another discipline. If you have it, and you're comfortable investing the capital into doing it, then by all means, do your thing. But the other traffic source is paid advertising. But again, that's a different skill set in and of itself that we're not going to be talking about here. But it is another source that you can produce traffic from. But for this case, we're going to stick to organic. All right. So again, once you have your lead capture system set up, in this case with your free MailChimp account, you at least have a landing page set up. You got a thank you page that just either has what are called one-time offers, just instructions on how to get to your the welcome email that gets automatically sent to them, and then in that welcome email you have links promoting your product. All right. So let's move right along. Step number 5. So step number 5 is nurture your email list. So again, you put all this effort, time, energy, and effort into setting up your lead capture system. Then you put all this time, energy, and effort into making content and getting that up and going. And then over time, it's been ranked, and now you're getting traffic. So you collecting your email addresses. Now you got a database full of email addresses, and over time it's going to grow from one to hundreds to thousands, and who knows, but it's going to continue to grow. And as it's growing, you're going to be able to start promoting, helpful emails. I mean, we're promoting your offers via helpful emails, because again, you don't want to be as they've said in the past, snake oil salesman, where you're just there just to kind of like just push products on people. Again, you want to take this seriously, because these are, like I said, this is your audience. Think of it kind of like your ABC, or a network like ABC, for example, in that you're building an audience. So you get to decide what that audience is based on the niche that you choose. But based on that niche, over time, your goal is just to always building your audience. And so this audience, again, just like ABC, they're building an audience of people who are interested in the type of content that they want to produce and put out there. And over time, their goal is just to get new viewers. So in this case, your goal is just to get new people into your audience that want to learn about what you're talking about, which is going to be your niche. All right. So to make that happen, so once you start getting your everything set up, you got people joining your list, audience is growing, email list is growing. Now it's gonna be time to send out some helpful emails. So for me, back then, I was probably sending out, I would say at least weekly. I was sending out at least one email a week. I will say that I do recall that so that's one email a week. So and now I was talking about personal development. So I was obviously sharing just different tools, tips and tools, which is one of the things you would definitely want to talk about, that I was personally coming across and finding that helped me improve, help me make my shift mentally. But within those emails, I was promoting, my product. So at the time, at first, it was magnetic sponsoring, and I changed it up to Third Circle Theory. But they were basically 2 books. That's all. I was promoting 2 books. And so basically, the way I had my email set up, it was to where it was kind of like I had obviously my tips and tools But on the side, I have my product recommendations, which were my books, and over time, people would read the emails and like they would click the links to check out the books because sometimes I reference the books as I was talking about another tip or tool, and then or I was talking about something within the book, and then letting people know where they can go buy the book themselves. And then that's how I was. Those were my helpful weekly emails. Now the online business blueprint, it says send out a daily email. Um, but again, everybody's process is different. It's ultimately your choice. But you weekly works for me. I would suggest that you since you are going to be using Mailchimp, you can probably at a bare minimum start off weekly, but in later videos we'll talk about how to actually do every aspect of this to take it to the next level. But the basics here, I'll just start off weekly with a weekly broadcast email, a basic campaign where you just send that out and you're talking about just stick to the power one good tool, tip and or tool that you've come across on a weekly basis within your niche that you believe can help. It's going to be of value and benefit to your audience, and talk about that. But again, and within talking about that, you just insert links to promote whatever product. So if you're doing weight loss, it might be a supplement, a vitamin pack, some sort of powder, protein powder, some sort of drink mix. Who knows? If it's relationships, if it's dating advice, it could be some book, most likely, some course, or it could be now I'm seeing they got the little dating games. You get the little cards. So if you got a podcast, so that's why a lot of people that got these dating podcasts, that's why you see them promoting these little games, these little card games, or people are coming up with their own card games or their own little dating games in a sense, and promoting, selling those and or promoting those, or affiliate, making them available for other people to promote them as affiliates. But that's how it all gets started. But that's why you see what you're seeing. You're not seeing what you're seeing on accident in the world when it comes to business. You know what I mean? Like, again, as long as you stick to an evergreen niche, you're gonna always have an opportunity to be in business. All right. So, next, so daily action. So again, you want to promote your lead capture system. So again, that's the process of driving traffic to your landing page so you can collect email addresses. And that's just really the gist of what you. So when you're sitting there trying to figure out what do I need to do, figure out how can I add? I always be asking yourself, how can I serve? How can I add value to my audience? What can I do? So that's going to require you to be doing some homework for yourself. So that's where you can kind of invest in yourself. So just think of it like this: invest in yourself, whatever your niche is. Invest in yourself by really dedicating yourself to that niche, learning it, figuring out who the power players are, what the top products are. Really becoming a figure in your industry, an authority, as they would say. And again, just as you start learning and applying these things, or if you already know some things, start sharing those things your way, of course. And then boom, you know what I mean. You're gonna start to see results. But again, this is the daily action. As when you're first getting started, it's gonna be driving traffic and collecting emails. You're gonna drive traffic by producing content relevant to your niche, and then as you get your email, as you're building your email address, you're gonna also be sending out content to them. Whether that's gonna be on a daily basis, a weekly basis, one a week, or three a week, two a week. You gonna have to figure out your own schedule, but whatever that schedule is gonna be, stick to it, and don't stop it until you produce your first $203. All right. So that brings us to the end. So I want to give shout outs to flaticons.com. Those are the people responsible for all the nice images the icons, images that you've seen today. But all in all, again, like, it was a pleasure for me to share this information with you. I'm gonna dive in, get into a lot more detail with future videos. But I just wanted to first get this first one out so that you guys at least have a basic overview, foundation of what's to come and what you're gonna have to do in regards to making this happen for yourself. So again, Trust the process. Put the effort and the work in this process, so that you can improve your skills, learn something new, but ultimately really be able to produce real income straight to your inbox. All right. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out in the group, or you know how to get at me. I'm not hard to find, as Coach Prime would say. Dane Diesel ain't hard to find, baby. So it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to many, many, many more. All right, make it a great day. Peace.